welcome. So today we start on our restorative poses. So if you haven't grabbed them already, go ahead and grab a few blankets, some pillows. If you don't have a bolster, I'd get at least 2 just regular bed pillows if you can grab those. Also, blocks if you have them, but if you don't, some big, thick books would be just fine. Okay, but you're gonna need something kind of thick. So go ahead and grab those. And you may want something small for your eyes, like an eye pillow or just a small washcloth for later. How we're going to start today is we're actually going to warm up the body just a little bit first. So you can take all of your goodies and just move those off to the side for now. So we'll get to that in just a minute. So just starting seated comfortably, and for one of those things, if you do want to prop yourself up and just raise your hips just a little bit, that can help. So restorative yoga, we actually do quite a bit of this already when we take our time in poses, and maybe we support the joints. So it's not quite so physically active, it's more restful to recuperate, to reconnect with ourselves, with the earth. And so that's what we're introducing today. So just started in your comfortable seated position. Hands can be in your lap or on your thighs. Palms facing up if you're looking to kind of bring your energy more outside of the body, and palms down if you're thinking, nah, I'm gonna kind of push that energy more towards myself, just depending on what you need for today. And we'll start by closing the eyes, noticing kind of where we are, what parts of the body are touching the mat or our seat. Maybe even what our heart rate feels like at the moment. Our breathing. Noticing if we're feeling any maybe aches and pains or tightness. Just thinking about the intention that maybe we're drawing towards these areas or drawing towards an emotional component of our life. And again, that intention isn't anything magical. It's just putting your mental energy or your physical energy where you need it. Because yoga is always a personal practice. Our practice today is actually quite restful. And if you happen to fall asleep, that is okay. So slowly opening the eyes, releasing the hands from the knees, inhaling the arms up overhead, and then pushing the palms out as we exhale, pressing down. Start working that Ujjayi breath. Inhale up and exhale down. Lengthening that breath. Inhale and exhale. Taking your time, using your own breath pace. Good. Once more, really lengthening those arms. Good. Coming back to the center, switching whichever leg you have in front if you are sitting cross-legged or in easy pose. Simply starting by arching the back, pulling the sternum back towards the spine, and a little bit of seated cat. And from here, maybe it feels good to push off towards one side a little bit more and then the other. We're just taking a moment to tune in to ourselves. Noticing, hey, okay, oh, I feel a little tightness on my right side. Just making note. And then maybe adding a little twist, So pressing one shoulder forward and then switching to the other side. Nice and easy. And then coming back to the center, reaching the right arm all the way up. And that's gonna backstroke down behind you, reaching behind you as your left hand reaches over the right knee. Just doing a seated twist, looking over our right shoulder, keeping the spine nice and long. Breathe through. Imagine we're elongating the spine. The crown of the head lifts more towards the sky as our feet and our seat root into the earth. Even breaths. And after our next exhalation, simply releasing the right knee with our left hand, coming back to the center. Once again, bringing the sternum towards the spine, but this time we're going to inhale, lifting the chest up and through, and then exhale, reverse. So make that little cave, lean back, inhale, lift up and through at your own breath pace. Widening those collarbones. When you come through, really spreading the shoulders back with a proud chest, lifted heart. And once more, up and through. Good, coming back to center, reaching the left arm up, backstroking it behind, placing it on the ground, right hand over left knee, twist to look over the left shoulder. Spine is still elongated, relatively perpendicular to the ground. Breathe into that spot where you might feel tightness. And after our next exhale, we come back to the center once again, just a few cat and cow together, resetting that spine after we've twisted it. Breathing with every motion. Once more. Coming back to the center, releasing both hands, fingertips down to the mat. So as we think about yoga being a balance, right, of effort and ease. Ease would just be kind of letting the hands hang. Effort would be really, really tense. We want to find that balance in between. So I'm reaching, so I feel that light stretch maybe through my upper arms, my neck, maybe my forearms. But I'm not trying so hard that I'm straining. Good. Allowing the right hand to come down to the ground. We're going to let that elbow bend, zipper the left arm up, and just lean into a lateral flexion of the spine. Now to get the full expression here, you want to press your left hip down into the ground as your left hand reaches up. So it's not just one half of the body there, it's both sides, kind of pulling in opposite directions. Makes it more of an active stretch. Good, and from here, we're going to turn our chest and our face towards the sky. Just let it open up. Good, inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale, come back to the center, gently press yourself up to the center, reach those fingertips out to the ground. Good, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side, left hand down, bending that elbow, zippering the right arm up. Press the right hip and knee into the ground, reaching through the right hand. Noticing how the side body opens with each inhalation. Few breaths here in this nice side stretch. And then when you're ready, we can rotate our head and chest towards the sky. Noticing the right chest opening up as the heart is lifted. Good, inhale. Exhale, come back to the center and gently press yourself up, both fingertips towards the ground there. Okay, release the hands, go ahead and shake them out. So we're gonna move into our restorative poses. So now what we're going to do is start grabbing our pillows or our blankets. So go ahead and grab those. So my pillows are a little thin, so I'm gonna make sure that I stack them. And if yours are thin like mine, then you may need to add another blanket on top of there, but you know, you gotta play with it and see how it feels. So taking your two pillows or blanket, go ahead and stack them. And then your smaller blanket, if you have one, is gonna go at the short end of the mat because that's gonna support your head. So right about now. If you have a small little washcloth size or like an eye mask, you want to have that nearby as well. All right, so the first one that we're going to do here is a supported back bend. So your hips are actually going to be off of the pillows. You're not sitting on the pillows right now. Feet about, just to start, hip width apart. And we're going to just go ahead and slowly roll on down over those pillows. So ideally, the head here should be lower than the heart, okay? Because you've got more lift from these pillows, right, than your head has support. If your neck feels uncomfortable, you may need a little bit more support underneath. So you can just roll over your towel or add another blanket under there. The hands are going to go out to the side, palms facing up. So we're really allowing this chest to open. The last little bit here is we're actually going to move our feet to the sides of the mat. Now you can play with how far away you want your feet to be. Some people prefer the feet even off the mat, and then the knees are going to come together in the middle. Okay, so find that spot where you feel a little stretch here in the hip. Chest is open. Feel free to add more or less blanket just to make sure you get this back bend. Palms are going to be facing up, and your last little bit is to place your little towel or eye mask over your eyes. So, as we move through these poses today, it may be a little challenging for some people to sit quietly for so long, because a lot of these poses we're actually going to sit in for several minutes. And this is to expose us to this type of yoga, knowing that it exists for one, and that it might be something to add to a more active practice, which we will do, or something to add to the end of your day if you need to calm down or cool down, and just kind of go within for a moment. That said, it can be a challenge for some people, so here are a few tips. The first part of each one of these poses, you want to just draw your attention to where your body is touching the earth. So if we start from the very lowest part of the body, the toes and feet. Draw your attention to your toes and feet, feeling the sensation as they press into the earth. Notice which parts of your feet. Maybe it's the toes, the balls of the feet, the heels. Maybe even your arches are touching a little. And we draw the attention up the body, noticing that our knees are moved in towards one another, maybe touching, and our thighs touching, moving up to our hips, stretch, and our low back and our hips touch the earth, noting that we are grounded into the earth. We are all connected in this moment together. Moving up the spine as it gently arches with our support under the back. Allowing the front body to open, the abdomen, the rib cage, and the heart to open. We notice how our arms are supported by the earth and our palms are open to receive. And our head and neck is supported, also grounded into the earth. You're calm, supported, and safe. Breathe deeply. as the mind wanders, as it will do, bring that energy back towards the body and onto the mat. Perhaps noticing sensations of where our clothes touch the body, or the temperature on our skin, or hopefully the comfortable support of our spine, the opening of our chest, the stretching of the front of our shoulders. Once again, breathe. I invite you to stay in this position if it feels good. If you'd like to stretch the hips in the opposite direction, I invite you to bring your knees so they're pointed up towards the sky, bringing the bottoms of both feet in towards the center of the mat, and then letting both knees fall out to the sides of your mat, letting the bottoms of your feet caress one another into reclining bound angle. And if this hip stretch feels a bit too deep, one thing we can do is to support underneath the knees with blankets or blocks. So if you have blocks and want to use those, you'd simply place the block under each knee. We're building a recliner specifically for our body. And the same can also go for the hands. You can also use a small towel or even a book under the back of each hand. So you're just kind of hugged and supported. Ensuring that there's no strain on the neck. We want the nose to be pointed at the ceiling. The head's too far back, the nose will be pointed behind you and the chin will be facing the ceiling, and that can be hard on the neck. So we want to support our necks and take care of them. And we're just going to rest here for just a few more breaths. And to transition into our next pose, first we're just going to bring the arms in. If you have support underneath the knees, you can remove that support and just put it off to the side. We're going to slowly roll over onto one side of the body. And gently press yourself up. And we're going to take our pillows and our books or blocks. Okay, we're gonna build a little mountain. So taking your books, gonna place it right down on the mat. I'm gonna add a couple because I like a little more height. And remember, it's all customizable, so you can add or take away as you feel. You're gonna take your pillows and we're gonna lay them lengthwise over the top of those books. And you may also need to add more blankets, so just keep that nearby in case you need to. So with this, we're gonna do a reclining twist. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna sit with the knees bent, with our hips kind of close to the end of our mountain. We're gonna turn our chest over and just roll on down, letting the arms just rest. You can turn the head to the side. If you feel like I'm feeling too much of the books, you can also stack a little more blanket underneath there, or if you want a more gradual ramp kind of going that way. And you may need to adjust how close your hips are to that stack. But the point is we're gonna keep the knees bent, and then we twist the torso, let the arms just hang on the sides. So just lay down, turn the head to one side, and just breathe. If you do have an eye mask or a little towel, this would be a good time to place that over the eyes as well. Inhale and exhale, turning the palms towards the ground and gently pressing yourself up. Now, without moving that stack around, you're just going to spin around and face the other direction and do the same thing. If you feel like that hip just didn't feel too good or the ground is too hard, take that other towel or whatever you might have and support yourself there as well. And when you're ready, do the same thing, bending those knees, turning and laying on down. So get comfortable. Once again, adjusting the hips as you need to, adjusting your angle to ensure that you feel supported in that position. Close the eyes. Inhale. And exhale. And after your next exhale, gently place the palms down and slowly press yourself up. So we're going to move into supported cross-legged position. So very similar to how you have your pillows and blocks or books now. We're actually going to give a little more support side to side. So if you've got a few, then place them side to side. And the pillows are going to sort of lengthwise, crosswise. And as mine are pretty flat, I'm going to actually add a little bit more in there because it's not quite enough for me. And for your seat, if you have something to sit on, a pillow or another blanket, I would also go ahead and roll that in a way or fold that in a way that you will be seated. So we're actually going to face this, adding our little seat to lift the hips and put the sit bones right on that little pad there, cross-legged. And we're going to forward fold. So you might need to adjust a few times, placing the hands on our nice comfortable pile here, stacking the hands, and then just resting the head. Now you may find that you need a little more height or a little more support under the hips, so feel free to change any of that. Again, we're here for a few moments, so adjust as you need to. Closing the eyes and resting into the pose. If you find that this is just too far down for you to bend, if you have a chair nearby that you can do the same thing on that, bringing the chair over, or if your bed is fairly low. The idea is just to be able to rest comfortably but not straining of the spine. So, or the couch, if you're near a couch, that would be another spot to do it. Any one of those. So once you're in your position, closing the eyes, resting comfortably and breathing deeply. Focusing on the pranayama, the breath, perhaps envisioning it as a color. And as you inhale, watching that beautiful color go in through the nose, through the back of the throat, down the windpipe, filling the lungs, and that beautiful color going into the rest of the body, painting your cells. And as you exhale, reversing that. Continue to envision that beautiful process. And after your next exhale, gently press yourself up, and we're going to switch legs. So cross the other leg in front. And when you're ready, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to face the other side. Inhale. Exhale, come on down. Continuing to breathe there, using that same mind's eye, maybe this time with a different color, and following that color all the way through. Inhale. Exhale. And after your next exhale, go ahead and press yourself up, removing the towel from underneath your seat and setting up for the next pose for our basic relaxation, which ends the practice. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the pillows, we're going to stack them near the end of the mat. And you may only need one, you may need two, feel it out. If you have a blanket near you, you want to have that to the side. You're going to remove your blocks and bolsters from the top on your books. You want to have your eye mask or towel somewhere nearby. You're going to take the towel, or if you have a small pillow, to support the head. Okay? Now you have the option, we're going to turn so that our knees are supported and our lower legs are supported with our pillows. An eye mask, if you like, to place over the eyes. This is actually how we finish off today. And if you have a blanket, go ahead and take that and place it over you. So again, knees are supported, and we roll on down, moving our towel or pillow so that we lift the head just a little so our head is supported. Now here we can also have the hands supported like we talked about before on books or blocks. That feels good for you. Or even under, we can place towels underneath the arms, but tuck yourself in here, placing your little towel over the eyes in our final relaxation, adjusting the body as need be, just ensuring that we feel supported all the way around. And this is the way we will conclude practice today. And just know this is a form of Shavasana you can always go into at the end of any practice. Always recommend having the props nearby, just for your own special custom way that you like to finish your final relaxation. So here, ensuring there's enough space between the legs so that the knees are relaxed, the insides of the thighs are released, the toes are probably pointed out, the hips are relaxed, the low back is released. The shoulder blades are down against the rib cage. Chest is still open and the shoulders are relaxed. The arms are away from the body with the palms up, or if it feels better for you, maybe stacking the hands over the belly. Whatever feels most at home for you today. The eyes are closed. The face is soft. Now we've been turning our attention to our breath. We try to release now to nothing. Let the jaw relax. The tongue is soft. And the muscles in our neck and throat release. Let the breath come easy and slow. Staying here with our eyes closed in this peaceful place. Just relax. Now I invite you to stay here. If you would like to continue to relax, feel free. You do not need to come up if you want to spend more time. But for everyone else who's ready, begin wiggling fingers and toes, rotating the wrists and ankles, moving the head side to side. Good. And slowly rolling over onto our side. You can just move the pillows out of the way. Grabbing hold of this feeling of relaxation. Knowing we can practice this at any time or go to this space in our mind. And hopefully reflecting on what we're grateful for this week. Slowly and gently press yourself up as you open your eyes. Inhale the arms up. Exhale down. Once again. One more. Wishing you a wonderful rest of your week. I'm thankful for all of you. Thank you for being here. Namaste.